pollution not only looks bad, but it also is extremely harmful to animals. Plastic pellets from which plastic products are made are eaten by seabirds because they look like fish eggs. Plastic bags are invisible to birds diving for fish. The bags are skewered by the birds' beaks, usually causing the birds to die. Plastic is mistaken for food by turtles, birds, and whales. The plastic chokes them, poisons them, or makes them think they are full when this plastic food has no nutritional value, causing them to starve to death. A turtle found dead off of Hawaii had over 1,000 pieces of plastic in its stomach and intestines. A turtle recently rescued was unable to submerge because of the amount of styrofoam trapped in its body, making it permanently buoyant. These curious and playful seals often play with plastic netting or packaging straps floating in the ocean. The plastic gets wrapped around their necks, constricting the seals' movements and killing them through starvation, exhaustion, or infections from the deep wounds. While diving for food, seals, turtles, and whales get caught in translucent nets and drown. As our consumption of plastic increases, so too does the danger to marine life.
You know, along with plastic pollution being an environmental hazard, because it's estimated that plastics kill over a million seabirds and over 100,000 marine creatures each year due to ingestion of plastics or entanglement in plastics. And so it's a huge problem because sea turtles, when they see a plastic bag, it looks like a jellyfish, and so they eat it, and over 50% of the turtles surveyed, they had plastic in their stomachs, which is really tragic. But it's also a human health hazard because plastics never biodegrade, they only photodegrade. They get into smaller particles called microplastics. And when they're in the ocean, all the pollutants that come from land, the fertilizers, the chemicals, the oils, everything, the heavy metals, gravitate towards these microplastics. And then fish eat them, and so it biomagnifies up through the food chain. And so now we're finding it in our food, and the latest studies are showing it's in the fish that we eat, these pollutants. So it's not only an environmental hazard, it's a human health hazard as well.
It's always bothered me that people will go do a beach cleanup once a year, and then when they go to the beach on any other day, they do nothing about the trash. They walk by it like it's invisible and they don't see it's there. Why can't people take care of the ocean and our beaches every single day they go to the beach? Plus, ocean pollution hurts our economy. First of all, Hawaii's economy relies on a thriving tourism industry, which isn't possible if our beaches are filthy and polluted. Second, the government spends a ton of money removing litter and ocean pollutants from our beaches and infrastructure, such as waterways. This wouldn't be necessary if people took responsibility for their trash. Third, litter is a public safety hazard because it attracts vermin, bacteria, and fires. This leads to increased government spending or citizens having to allot more of their limited resources to deal with these issues.
A lot of the world gets their major food supply is the ocean. And so if we continue this decline, this rapid decline in the ecosystem of the ocean, we could face starvation, across the world. We really don't need to use these things. They're alternatives. You can use a metal canteen, which is safer for the environment and better for your health. And you can use bags, reusable bags instead of single-use plastic bags. Surfrider does monthly beach cleanups around the island, and we have clubs at UH, and then we're trying to do some at schools across the island. And what we're trying to educate people is that even though we do this one day a month, what we're trying to teach them is you should be doing this every time you go to the beach. Because our mission is that we're dedicated to the protection and enjoyment of the world's oceans, beaches, and waves. And basically what that means is we want you to enjoy it, and every time you go to the coast to enjoy your experience there. But you can if there's cigarette butts all over the place, plastic bags, and so just to remember that not only pick up your own stuff, but also pick up other people's stuff. So we need need everyone to get involved, especially surfers and people who, you know, enjoy the ocean the most.
I absolutely love the ocean, and I wanted to do something that would show others that they can love the ocean as much as I do. Because I figured that if you love something, you'll take care of it. And I love the ocean because I love to surf. And I've been surfing ever since I was 2, since before I could swim. I would wear the little floaties on my arms and go surfing with my parents. And I used to compete when I was younger, and now I just surf for the fun and enjoyment of it, and I wanted to share that passion with everybody else.
It's very much about that spiritual connection to something that's so much bigger than us, that reminds us what's important to in life, and taking care of our oceans and planet is probably the most important thing we can do.
On a Saturday down at Queens Beach, we set up a tent so that we could share this idea of taking care of the environment every day with a larger community. At the front of the tent, I put up a sign that explained the problems of ocean pollution and how everybody could do something to help. And inside the tent, I set up a large canvas. It was about 4 feet by 5 feet. And I outlined an ocean scene design on it so that everyone could paint something and could paint inside the lines even if they had no artistic ability, because making the canvas was just about bringing the community together. And on the canvas, the ocean design was, there was a wave crashing on the beach, and there was a turtle and a sun and a bunch of surfboards lined up on the beach with the slogan, "Enjoy the surf, care for the earth," underneath it. And on each corner of the canvas, there was a piece of litter that is often found at the beach, such as a fountain drink, a can of soda, or a bottle. And these pieces of litter were separate from the rest of the ocean scene with a very, very thick red line to artistically show the idea that these pieces of litter should not be allowed to enter our beaches and oceans, and everyone should do something to keep them out of the environment, to keep a healthy place for everyone to enjoy themselves. When people arrived at the tent, I would explain the project to them and ask them to sign a pledge to pick up at least 5 pieces of trash every time they came to the beach. And once they signed the pledge, I gave them a bright neon pink armband to show their support. And then I invited them to help paint the mural with us. And I was surprised by how many people wanted to help out and do their part to both clean up the environment and help us with the mural. At any given time, there were at least 8 to 10 people leaning over each other with paintbrushes, trying to paint their own part of the mural. I invited a lot of my friends and family and teammates to come and help at the event, but I think the largest turnout we had was from just strangers on the beach, and they would walk by our tent along with all the other tents because there was a surf contest going on that day. So the beach was packed and there are a lot of other vendors selling things. And when people got to our tent, they would stop and try to figure out what we were doing, because I guess they'd never seen a bunch of people painting a large mural at the beach in the sand before. And I think the painting was extra popular with the kids. There were people of all ages, but especially the kids at the surf contest and the kids at the beach coming by really enjoyed painting. There were these 3 little girls about 7 years old who were painting for a good 2 hours. And by the time their parents finally came and told them that they had to leave, they were covered in paint from head to toe and wanting to paint more. And they just had a ton of fun, and I was very happy to see that everyone loved painting, even though they had perhaps never even painted before. Once the rush at the tent died down, I took some of my friends and teammates out surfing at Baby Queens, and the majority of them were really beginner surfers, so we had a fun time teaching them how to surf, pushing them into waves, and getting them to get used to the idea of riding a wave. And because there's really nothing like the feeling when you catch a wave, and I think the more people that we get to experience that feeling, the more people will love surfing, and in turn they will love the ocean. Overall, there are about 70 people who participated in the event who either signed the pledge, helped pick up trash, painted the mural, or learned to surf. And I really hope that everyone continues to honor their pledge, because every beach day, that's at least 350 pieces of trash that won't be ingested by turtles and other animals in the ocean.
So if each person did like you said, and picked up 5 pieces of trash, our beaches would be so much cleaner, and our oceans would be healthier, and the sea life would be healthier as well.
Now, these 70 people who participated in the event were a very small portion of the amount of people in our entire community here in Hawaii. Now imagine if everyone who went to the beach picked up at least 5 pieces of trash. That would make such a huge difference in ocean pollution. And all of this help towards ocean pollution will go to save innocent animals' lives, keep our beaches looking clean and pristine, and help to keep the ocean safe and healthy for everyone to enjoy. So remember, every time you enjoy the surf, just take 30 seconds to care for the earth, because you can really make a big difference.